Hi guys, it's Angie and I am back with another FlossTube video. It has been 4 months since my last video. I know, I'm sorry. I will talk about why it took so long for me to put together another video at the very end of this, in case those of you who are not interested don't want to hear it. You guys can skip over that. I'll let you know when we get there. But today I do have a video. It's an update video, WIP Parade, yearly stats video. It's just kind of an end of the year thing. I felt like I really wanted to get it out there and let you guys know what I have been doing, what I have finished, you know, the stats, all of that stuff. That's the fun part. I love watching end of year WIP Parade type things. They're a lot of fun. So we'll go ahead and get started with that after I say thank you to all of my subscribers who have stuck around. I know it is really obnoxious to subscribe to somebody on YouTube and then not see anything from them for a while. I apologize for that. I really tried. I promise I really tried. I just really couldn't do it. Again, I'll talk about that later. But thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it. And I have some new subscribers, which kind of actually surprises me because I don't normally look at a video and see that they haven't posted in a long time and then subscribe to their channel. But some of you did. You saw my video, you liked what it was, you subscribed with no guarantees that I was going to post again. And so I really appreciate you guys being here too. So let's go ahead. I've got a whole bunch of stat things to read to you. I promise it won't be too boring. Just 2021. I stitched for 9 months of the year. There were several months in there where I did not touch my cross stitch at all. It was very sad. I had 16 new starts in the year of 2021. I had 17 finishes. I worked on 24 projects. And I had a total stitch count for the year of 140,572 stitches. So that was awesome. I thought it was going to be, I was a little bit worried that once summer hit and I didn't have all that sit down, watch my son do his school stitch, I thought my stitch count was going to get really low. And it did. It dropped pretty dramatically. But I still have a really good total for the year. I'm very happy with. Okay. So for finishes, I'm going to insert pictures of the finishes, but what I'm also going to do, because a lot of these finishes were ones that I started previously, last year or the year before, I'm going to show a picture of this. If it's one that I started previously, I'm going to put a picture up of what it looked like at the beginning of this year, and then I will either hold it up for you here or I will show you a picture of the finished product, because some of them were given away, some of them I have framed and they're hanging in my house, or I finished in another way. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll start with Pavan. Here's what it looked like at the beginning of the year, and then here is what it looks like all finished. This one is fully finished, so I have to insert a picture. It's hanging up downstairs. And for Pavan, I stitched a total of 13,968 stitches on it this year to finish it. Let's see, I'm going to get to those ones at the end. So candy corn, I don't know if I have a previous picture. Let me find candy corn. So I don't remember what it started. Well, okay, I can show you what it looked like when I started. So candy corn is a bunch of Halloween. It's a pattern called Candy Corns. This one has several patterns in it. It's a little booklet. And last year, this is what it started out looking like, because last year I did this one so I could have a Halloween tree. This year I added to it, and I added 2 more. So here are the 2 more that I added, and this was a total of 1,180 stitches. So I added Mr. Bones and the frog. I think I did already show you these. This one, they both had words. They all had words with them, but I didn't like the words because I think this one said bad to the bone and this one said Happy Halloween. And I just liked them plain. And then the rest of this fabric, I had some patterns from the Just Cross Stitch magazine I was going to stitch, but I just ran out of time. in the month of October. And so that's going to continue on this next year. But each one of these is a separate pattern. And so there's 2 finishes. Although on this one, I counted these as 1 finish on my yearly total. Because I guess that would make 18 finishes. If I like 17, 18. Anyway, so that is, it's Candy Corn by Sue Hillis. Candy Corn Craze, the pattern's over there, by Sue Hillis Designs. Is it by Sue Hillis? I'm pretty sure it is. Yes. I don't want to get it wrong, so that was Candy Corn. Okay, and then I have 11Zs. I finished this one not too long ago. I started this one this year, and then I finished it this year. So this one was a start and a finish. My love of, I haven't fully finished it because I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it. I think I'm just going to frame it and set it up in my kitchen. I just haven't done it yet because I haven't finished, like fully finished hardly anything this year. I've done a few, not a lot. So that was 11Zs, and 11Zs got 4,570 stitches. All right, Mythbusters was a new start this year, and Mythbusters got 1,140 stitches, and here is a picture of it. Jaws was also a new start. That one got 4,404 stitches, and here's a picture of it. I got those ones fully finished. All right, Bigfoot Bundle was a new start this year, and it was a pattern I found thanks to the comment of a subscriber. So I was really excited. I also have the Abominable bunch, which I haven't started yet, but here is Bigfoot Bundle. And I hand dyed this fabric, and I'm planning on making another one of these to send to my mom. Again, I haven't done it yet. And it's not like this is super big, although it did take a lot of time. It took a lot more time than I was expecting. But there's 3 little Bigfoot, big feet in here. Which reminds me, I'll have to tell you the story about what I'm calling a Bigfoot that I didn't see but heard while I was on vacation last week. It wasn't really a Bigfoot, but I'm saying it is. Anyway, so there's Bigfoot Bundle. I'm excited to, I think I'm going to put Yeti on that one too, or Abominable. Bigfoot Bundle was 3,145 stitches. Okay, so here is one of the ones. This was a pack of 5 patterns in one called Red, White, and Bloom. I remember showing it to you and being all excited, and I got all the finishing product stuff for it. I just haven't done anything. So Red, White, and Bloom is a new start this year. This is pattern number 1. This is pattern number 2. And then this week, I did the rest of them. So I did pattern number 3. Got Uncle Sam here. Then we have number 4. And number 5. Red, White, and Bloom was a total of 3,719 stitches. This is the laundry trio. You may have seen some other, I purchased these patterns after watching Martini, oh my gosh, now I've forgotten her name, Stitcher. She was doing a stash dive, and I saw these and thought they were super cute. Sammy J Stitches has also just recently finished these. These are from a hands-on design. It's the laundry trio. So we have the Loads of Fun. I'm sorry, I don't iron my stuff before I show you because that takes effort and work, and I just didn't want to do it. So we've got Loads of Fun. And Loads of Fun was 1,564 stitches. Irony, I just finished this one at the beginning of this week. Irony was 2,168 stitches because I had to frog a bunch and redo it. And then the never-ending cycle. Never-ending cycle is 1,949 stitches. So now I'm going to take all of these and I'm going to line them up. I'm going to finish them. I want to find an old-timey like washboard and finish them and hang them along the washboard and hang it up in my laundry room. So there was that. Okay, there was the wedding heart. That was a new start. Oh, and also Red, White, and Bloom and the Laundry Trio were also new starts this year. Wedding Heart was a new start. It was a gift for a friend of mine's daughter, my best friend. Her daughter got married. I no longer have that in my possession. Obviously, it was a gift, but this is what it looked like when it was finished. And that was, it was a really simple one, and it was 302 stitches. And that brings me to, all right, Dark Queen of the Sea. Knocking over my stuff. I still have not fully finished this. It's just sitting in a protected thing because I needed to. Here's what Dark Queen looked like at the beginning of the year. And after 21,284 stitches, here is Dark Queen now. This was a monthly stitch along. I kept up with it, which was amazing. I didn't think I'd actually be able to do it, but I totally did it. And then the beading and the back stitching took a bit of time because, I mean, you can see that back stitching back there, down there on her. She is gorgeous. And in her hair, there wasn't a whole lot of beading, just some, which was nice. But she is finished. She's going to go in a bathroom when I eventually find a frame for her. And then probably my proudest finish. Y'all will probably, if you've stuck with me for a while, you'll know which one this is. But Stargazer, here's what she looked like at the beginning of the year. And you guys, here is Stargazer. I still haven't framed it. It's my goal in January to get her framed. After 10,197 stitches and beads, here is Stargazer. And I'm sorry you can see through her. I'll stick her in front of my face. I can actually see through her well enough to position her on camera because the fabric is so thin. But Stargazer is my favorite finish, and I need to just get her fully finished now to protect her, obviously, get her hung up in my house. I have no idea where we're going to put her. We don't have a lot of wall space here. So those were all of, sorry, I'm dropping stuff. Those were all of my finishes for the year of 2021. Not bad. All right. Before I go on and show you the WIPs, I'm going to show you some purchases. I have not been doing a lot of purchasing because I have not been doing a lot of stitching. But I did another new start that I will show you. The Cryptid Sow from... You guys, my mind is drawing a blank. I will insert the name because I know it. You guys, I know it. Witchy Stitcher, I think, maybe. Maybe not. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. It's been a while. I'm not in a stitchy mindset right now. But pretty much almost the entire pattern is with black 310 DMC. But I decided I wanted to spice it up and mix the black with some Petite Treasure Parade, the sparkly black. So mine has a little bit of a sparkle to it. I didn't want to do it all with this because even though this isn't terrible to work with, it is pricey. I mean, it's not expensive, but for how much you would need to use, it's not worth it. So I picked up 4 I still have one that I'm not finished with, but that way I have extra to work on it. So this stuff came in September, and I just opened it from its package today. I told you I have been gone as far as stitching goes. I have not done much until this week. I've got my new planner to work with for this year. The front is gold dogs. The back is colorful dogs. I felt it was appropriate, seeing as how I'm working towards a vet tech licensure. I haven't started filling it out or anything, but here's my new planner for stitching. I'm excited to use it. And then I got some stuff from Vicky Stitch and Button because she makes amazing things and I love her bags. I got this one. It's a Christmas one. You've got Santa over the rooftops, and then the inside is the Christmas tree. The fabric is the music for the Christmas tree. But I like this because it doesn't look overly Christmassy, which means if I use it throughout the year, nobody's gonna look at me sideways like, why do you have a Christmas bag? Because I do. All right, what I also ordered, because I've never had one of these, and I did some traveling, and this would have been very handy while traveling. This is an Ort Catcher, and you open it up and it's got felt, and so you can put your little thread pieces here so that they're not littered all over the floor. It's got a nice little snappy closure. So I picked this one up because I like skulls. I think they're awesome. And I also got one to match my nightmare bag. So I have a nightmare bag. So another little Ort Catcher. I mean, how could I not? Although I am starting to, like, I feel like I've kind of hit my threshold for how much nightmare stuff I need, because I am a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas, but I think there is a point where it's too much. And I think I'm hitting right about to that point where I'm thinking, it might be a little too much now. So I'm backing off, although this doesn't bug. I mean, these are just simple. I also got some Froggers. So she makes these really pretty Froggers. You've got a needle minder that you stick on your project, and then that way you always have this thing you can use to frog. And I just thought they looked fun. I mean, it's basically just a needle that you can use, but it's always there, so I like it. This one is Stargate Sg1 because, as we all know, I am a nerd. And Stargate Sg1 and Stargate Atlantis I very much enjoy. Right now I'm just keeping them in my Ort keeper so that I can not lose them. And then the other one is black chain with black beads on the end and Nightmare. To go with my Nightmare bag, because like I said, that's just me. It's probably the last Nightmare thing I'm going to order for a while. So that's all the purchases that I've made recently. And now we can move on to WIPs. And hopefully this won't take too long, but I've worked randomly on some stuff throughout the year. So I worked on Away We Ride, I think once or twice. I didn't do very much on it, which is kind of sad because I really like this one. But I put 196 stitches in Away We Ride. Pretty much I just worked on this tree over here. No, maybe it wasn't the tree. Maybe it was down here and part of the tree. I may not have actually included everything. I was terrible at the end here of tracking stitches, so I'm sure my counts are off a little bit. If they're off, it's that I didn't include as many stitches as I did. So there's Away We Ride. And if I have the pictures of what they looked like at the beginning of the year, I will put those up. But I might miss some because I've been cleaning out yeah. So that was a way we ride. We have, okay, this is Epic Storybook Princesses. As far as Epic Storybook Princesses, I put 1,652. I'm not sure, this might have even been a new start for the year. I may have started working on this year. I don't remember. So I will, if I have a before shot, I will put that up. So that's Epic Storybook Princesses. And I will just put this to the side here. All right, I worked a lot on 13 colonies. I'm going to adjust it just a little bit so you can see. So here is what it looked like at the beginning of the year. And here is where it's at now. Yeah, okay. That's actually, I'm halfway done, almost halfway done. The problem is I got to this point and it's off by like one stitch right here. So I have not picked it up again because when I pick it up, I have got to figure out why it's off, where I went off. I'm sure I could fudge something, but I don't want to fudge anything. So I got to figure out where the issue is. So I got a butterfly right here. But I have like, it's over halfway done. The top half has more stitches than the bottom half. So I'm getting close, and I really, really like how this one is looking. This is in honor of moving to Virginia, I bought this pattern. So I just have to figure out where I got off. Maybe that's going to be a focus of this next year. We'll see. So for 13, I put 4,323 stitches in it this year. The next one, this is Sherlock. Sherlock is, I'm pretty sure that's a new start for this year. Did I not write Sherlock down on here? I did not. You're going to have to hold on. I'm going to have to tally up these stitches. But here's Sherlock. Can't remember if I started Sherlock last year or this year. But here is where I've gotten so far. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I am not very good at this. You'd think I'd be better. So there's Sherlock, and I'm going to pause for a second so I can tell you how many stitches I put on Sherlock. I have all of my total stitches for the year where I've recorded them, and I forgot to add up Sherlock, but Sherlock got 1,483 stitches. Okay, next up. Okay, so this one's fun. This is Garden Prelude, and this is what Garden Prelude looked like at the beginning of the year. I was not happy with how that looked because I felt like it wasn't, there wasn't enough contrast between the folds of the dress. So I restarted it. And so after putting like 1,000 stitches in that, I restarted it. And Garden Prelude now I put in 5,450 stitches. And here is where Garden Prelude is right now. Which I love it. It looks so pretty. I need to put some more work, obviously, in on it so that I can obviously get more done on it. All right. Okay, so that was Garden Prelude. All right, Northern Night. Y'all know that this one is, I have to finish it because it's not close to being finished, but it's halfway done. almost completely halfway done. It's just, I don't enjoy working on it very much right now. But this is Northern Night, and Northern Night got 3,716 stitches. So it's almost halfway done, and then I can work on the other. This is a dimensions kit. I had a big issue with colors. I had to buy a new kit to get more of the threads because I was almost out of some of the colors. It was a pain in the butt, and I mean, it's super pretty, and as I work on it and I see the picture, I get excited about it and I want to finish it. I just need to finish it. This was also, I hate it for another reason, because when I started it, I accidentally started it this way, and I did get all of this stitched this way, and I ended up being really obnoxious, and I unpicked it all and then restarted it. I have a whole story on this one at the beginning of, like in the beginning of my videos, and people were like, "You're insane," and I said, "I know, I should have just bought new fabric and restarted it," but we all make silly choices from time to time. So that was Northern Night. All right, so now we have Giant Harry Potter. Here is what, oh, and I forgot to put up the picture of what Northern Night looked like at the beginning of the year, but I'm sure I'll insert it either right now or before. Here is Harry Potter at the beginning of the year, Giant Harry Potter. And let me show you where we're at now. You guys, I am so close. Okay, so here it is, the top. This is so big. I have to like recline on my chair for you to see. And I've added a whole bunch here at the bottom. I had wanted to see if I could finish it by this year. That's not going to happen. I've also added a bunch of things, and when I'm fully done with this, I'll show you everything I've added. I've got some more things I want to add to the bottom, but I am really close. That Loomis word down here is almost at the very bottom, so I need to make a goal to try to get this one done soon. So I'm going to work on this one a lot over the winter break, so that I can see if I can get it finished. So Giant Harry Potter, I didn't work on it a whole lot this year, but for what I did do, I got, where are you? 6,907 stitches. All right. Okay, so here's another one. I wanted to get finished, but there was a mistake, and I didn't know where the mistake was, and so I just kind of stopped working on it. And it's so close to done, I just need to finish it. This is Ornate Halloween, and it is, I did 300 stitches. You guys, it's literally almost done. So this side is done. I just have to add another thing here and go over here. And then this is, I mean, like, it's seriously, it's almost done. But when I started the pumpkin, everything was matching up here, but then it's not matching up here, and I don't know where I went wrong. And so this is another one where I'm off somewhere, and I have to figure out where I'm off and then decide if I'm going to rip it out and rework it. So it's one of those ones where it's going to take some time and work, and so you just don't do it because you know it's going to take time and work. But Ornate, did I already tell you guys he got 300 stitches? But that's another one I could easily just finish and have it off my plate. All right, I worked on Liberty's Welcome, and I got 710 stitches. I forgot how much I really liked this until I started working on it. It's so pretty, and I love this fabric. So here is where, if I keep forgetting to tell you guys, this is what it looked like before. Here's where we're at right now. I have not done a lot. I mean, obviously, this is what it looks like. I barely scratched the surface. But this is definitely one I'd like to focus on some more, because I like this one. I love the colors. I love the flowers. I love this fabric, which is Platinum Lugana, 32 count. It's really pretty. It stitches on like a dream. I kept getting blinded by all these little small new starts, and then when you start a small one, it's easy to finish. Did I tell you 710 stitches on Liberty? All right, mini Sasquatch. Here's what it looked like at the beginning of the year. Here we are with mini Sasquatch. Mini Sasquatch got, where are you? 4,160 stitches. Looking so pretty. This one's a Haid, and it's the perfect size Haid because this is, you know, the end is in sight. I mean, it's going to be a while, but I've put in work on it, and yeah. Okay, so where am I at? I am on, this one has dog hair on it, so sorry. My dog sheds a lot right now. All right, so here is the Cryptid Sal. You guys, I had grand intentions, but it started right when I was starting school. So this is a new start for the year. Here's the Cryptid Sal. This is the one where I'm adding, I don't think you can see the shine, but I'm doing the treasure braid with the black. But I've got Mothman done, and it's almost got all of its, in fact, I think everything has been released for it. I just need to download it all. This is going to be big. It's going to be a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, which it's fine. But it's definitely one that I'm going to work on some more. I think it's gorgeous. And the parts that I do have done, I'm excited about. I just need to spend time on it. So, Cryptid Sal got 1,513 stitches done on it. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm so sad that I let this one slide because I mean, I'm close. I'm close. So this is another one that I'm probably just gonna finish working on this on a monthly basis like I did before. This is my Avatar alphabet. The whole premise of this was I was gonna have it finished by the end of the year. But again, life got away from me. And because I've had to design some of the characters on here myself, because I was switching them up, I am not, but I'm at N, so I'm more than halfway done. So here's where I'm at. This was a new start this year, so I don't have a, this is what it looked like before, but this is where I'm at. And when I finish this, I'll go through and go over all of the ones that I designed myself. Like I designed Appa, and a couple of the other ones I adjusted or made myself so that they would fit the characters that I liked more than the characters that the person who created the pattern put on. Not to say the person who created the pattern did a bad job, it's just there were certain characters that he left off that I wanted on, like Appa. So this one I'm gonna put some, this one and Giant Harry Potter I think are gonna be the two that I want to try to finish first so that they're done because they're big. They're large patterns. I'm making a mess. I've just got stacks and stacks of Q-snap bars. I need to be better. Avatar alphabet. You got, where did I put you? 11,638 stitches. So that's a lot. And then the last one, I think I have you down here, was, and I'm only showing this because I worked on it. It's not one that I'm giving up on completely, but I do not have any plans to work on this in the near future. But I did start Magic Study last year, and I did put, how much did I put on it? Magic Study got 8,833 stitches. So here's what it looked like before. Here's where I got to. Yeah, you guys. So this is where I got to with Magic Study before I started thinking, I don't know if I like this pattern enough. I bought the pattern because a lot of the people on Virtual Stitchers and Magical Stitches were working on it. and I watched their floss tubes, and I get on and I would chat with them on virtual stitchers, and they were all working on it, and it was the fear of missing out. And so when it came on sale again, unexpectedly, I bought it and I started working on it, and it's pretty and I like it, but it's small stitching, such small stitching, and I don't know if I am up for it. It's a Hade. You guys know some people are magnificent at Hades. I don't know if I'm up for it. So this one has been put by the wayside for a while. I'm not getting rid of it, and I'm not definitely saying no. It's just one that I'm putting away for a while. And then the last one that I worked on that, funny enough, is similar to Hade. It's not a Hade, but this one is Middle Earth. Here's where it looked like at the beginning of the year. Middle Earth got 18,457 stitches. Let me undo the Q-snap so you can see what I got done, because I got a lot on this. Okay. Sorry, I've got a mess of a canvas. Here is where Middle Earth is at now. This one, there is no way I won't finish, because I adore this. I adore this. This is my, I love this. And I was working on this so much, I just had to put it to the side for a little bit. So that is where I'm at stitchy wise. I don't think I have any other updates. So let me grab a drink really quick. So there's my stitchies. So anybody who wants to finish here, life update is coming next. But I'm looking forward to doing more stitching this year. I don't have any specific plans. I am still going to be part of Magical Stitches. I am a member of Semi-Sane Stitchers. I need to jump in and work on that, because I haven't worked on anything in 4 months, and I hope they don't kick me out of the group. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try to post something in one of their groups in the next day or two so that they can't be like, you have, cross my fingers. Okay, life update. I went back to college. Y'all know that. I talked about it a lot. I finished the semester with a 3.8 GPA. I'm on the dean's list. Yay! I had 4 A's and a B+. Darn you, math. Math always gets me. Math always gets me. But I got a B+ in it, which is fantastic, because in high school, you would be hard pressed to see me get more than a C on any math class. I took chemistry. They called it beginning chemistry. You guys, this was ridiculously hard. But I got an A in it. So that just shows you can do whatever you put your mind to. Oh, don't squeak that. My dog just got a squeaky toy. I took chemistry, I took English, I had the math class, I had anatomy and physiology, and it's called Introduction to Veterinary Technology, or a technician, but what the class really was this is what it's like to be in college, and this is how you be an adult. It was a class that was so boring. It was just a busy work class, because all it did was say, this is how you study, this is how you manage your finances, which is fantastic if you are an 18-year-old kid going into college for the first time. If you are a 40-something woman who has been married for 22 years and has raised 4 kids and moved all over the world, it's not a class that you need. And it was just a lot of busy work, which took away time from the classes that I really needed to focus on. So I was really frustrated by that class. I mean, it was a fine class. It was really annoying. 15 credit hours, and I could not find time to stitch, because if I was not actively in class or making dinner or doing chores, I was studying. I was on my computer studying pretty much from like 9 o'clock in the morning till sometimes 9 o'clock at night, because all of these classes required it. And I was always studying for anatomy and physiology. I had 3 labs that I had to go to, and they would give you a list of 200 things that you would have to know where they are in a body. I had to know every bone in the animal body, plus specific parts of certain bones. So, you know, just you've got like the knobby part of your elbow, or the fossas and the holes and all of the things, and you know, I had to know a lot of stuff. And then I had to know the different blood vessel or arteries and veins, and I had to know if they were on the left or on the right, and I had to know the difference between them, and I had to have these memorized because we would go into the lab and they would have actual cadavers, and then they would put pins in them, and you'd have to name what they were on all of your tests. And it was really, really, really insane. It was really intense. There was a lot of work that went into that. And on top of that, there were 20 chapters, very intense chapters in the anatomy and physiology book that you had to be able to take your midterm and your final on, that had nothing to do with what you were doing in the labs. Like some of them would cross over, but they would go into the physiology part of it. So the microscopic parts, and this is how it works, this is how the blood flows, this is what the blood is made of, this is what this blood is, you know, all of that. It was so hard, you guys, and it was my favorite class, and I aced that class. English was really great. I had to write a lot of papers, and that takes time. And so if I wasn't actively doing class, I was researching. I had a 6-page research paper that I had to do, and it had to be on a very social topic, something that's plaguing the world today, like minimum wage issues, or homelessness, or just climate change. But it had to be a very specific part of that. So you couldn't just do your paper on climate change. It had to be something very specific. And you guys, if you know me, I mean, you guys don't know me, but you know how I am. This is a very difficult thing for me to do. I do not like talking about social issues because everybody can get very opinionated very quickly about that, and it can cause arguments, and I don't like that stuff. So this was very out of my comfort zone, and my 6-page research paper ended up being a 12-page research paper, which I got a 95 out of 100 on. So that was my second favorite class. Even though I hated the subject matter, I loved my professor. I loved writing the papers. I did very well in that class. I had over 100% in the entire class until I got that 95 on the research paper. But I wish I could take another class from him. Unfortunately, my major doesn't have any more English classes, or else I totally would seek him out and try to get another class because it was that much fun. Chemistry was hard. I very much loved my professor. He was always willing to help me, and I had to get help a lot because learning how heat and energy work, and stoichiometry. I'm very good at stoichiometry right now. But it was really difficult. It was great, but it was difficult. And my math class was really hard because it was taking 15 weeks worth of math and condensing it into 7 weeks. And so that's why it was really hard. And I think that's why I got a B+, because at the time math started, I was so busy with everything else that trying to squeeze that in was really hard. The last 2 weeks of the semester, I had 8 exams that I had to study for. I was beyond stressed out. My kids were hating me because I spent every moment in this room studying. I literally did not have time to cross-stitch or film a video, and when I did have time, I wasn't sleeping because I was so stressed out. I had stress-induced insomnia. I was not sleeping. I couldn't. It was really bad, you guys. It was really bad. So here's the thing. I completed it. I did very well. I'm very happy. My next semester starts in like 3 weeks. I only have 3 classes this time, 9 credit hours. I'm taking a history class, a film appreciation class, and an intro to communication. Those are the 3 classes that are required, and then in April I can apply for the vet tech program. So cross your fingers that that will work out for me, because I still also have to find a job, because in order to be in the vet tech program I have to work 10 hours a week minimum in a vet clinic. So I'm trying to find a job. It's hard when you haven't worked in 18 plus years. So I have nothing on a resume. Sorry, my dog is whining because a kid is running around outside. So yeah, when I started, I did not know that I had to wait till April to apply for the program, because the advisor I was talking to at the time told me that I had to do all the prerequisites before I could apply, and so they suggested doing all the prerequisites in your first semester, and then you apply, and then you have 2 years worth of vet tech classes. So that's what I thought. So then when I talked to the advisor again, I found out that, oh, but they only let you apply once a year. So I could have spread out those classes over 2 semesters, which would have made my life a whole lot easier, but I didn't. But now I've got 15 credit hours under my belt. I've got a really good GPA. I mean, 3.8 is higher than I've ever had in my entire life. So those are good. I have, I'm on the dean's list, and my next semester is going to be really light, so I should be able to stitch more. My plan is to do 2 videos a month, but I know for sure I plan to do at least 1 every month. I would like to do 2, so I should be able to stitch more. I should be able to really be in on that. It depends on if I can get a job. I'm hoping that I can just find a vet clinic that will say, okay, well, why don't we just put you on volunteer status, so that 10 hours a week, because who's going to hire me for only 10 hours a week, really? I just need to be in a vet clinic. So even if they have me scheduled as a volunteer, you know, twice a week, where I go in for 5 hours and, you know, work with the animals, there's got to be something I can do. So there's a couple vet clinics around that I can look at. And the one that I really want to work at is right around the corner, and they just lost 2 veterinarians. So they are extremely short-staffed. So I feel like if they are that short-staffed, then it would be a good time to go in and try to talk to them. So after the new year, I'm going to try to schedule a meeting with whoever does the hiring and kind of go through my situation and be like, hey, even if you just bring me on as a volunteer, or you hire me, but I'm not, like, I don't know, do something where I can work with you guys. I can help with the cleaning, I can help with the sterilizing and stuff, but maybe a little bit of the time you kind of help me see how the vet is run. And then if I get into the vet program and I'm accepted, then we can kind of renegotiate at that point. We'll see. But that's life update. We went on a trip to Georgia. It was a spur of the moment trip. My husband has 2 sisters that live in Georgia. One sister we saw in 2017, and the other one, it has been much, much longer. So we drove down. We took 2 days to drive down, even though it doesn't take that long to get there. And we stopped at a place called Natural Bridge in Virginia. It's it's kind of near Roanoke, not too far from Roanoke, Virginia. If you are in the area and you've never been, it's really beautiful. We went there and we just thought it was going to be this stone bridge, which it was. But what we didn't know is there's this huge, long, not huge, but, you know, a pretty decent hike afterward. And we got there kind of late in the afternoon. And when we got there, we saw the bridge, and we thought that if you followed the path, it would take you up on top of the bridge. So we just kept following the path, and it didn't. It took you along this route that ended in a waterfall, which I'm sure in the spring is gorgeous and full of water. It had water, it just wasn't, you know, overflowing waterfall type thing. But it was really pretty. But because it was kind of overcast, it was late in the evening, it was kind of misty, so there was this spooky, eerie feeling to it, which was fantastic. And as we were walking back, we got to a certain point along the river, and my daughters went down and started throwing rocks in the river, and then we heard this noise, this really loud cracking noise. And we stopped for a minute because we thought at first maybe it was the girls, that they'd thrown the rock at something, or a big rock, I don't know. But then it kept going, this loud cracking noise. And we heard this movement and this cracking, and it was up on the hill across from the river, but it was a really steep, it was like almost a cliff face, but not a cliff because it wasn't a real giant mountain, but it was a really steep, rocky face of across from the river. And what it sounded like is, if you've ever heard when a tree breaks off and falls over, that's kind of what it sounded like. So I was expecting to see a boulder come tumbling down or a tree fall over, because that's what it sounded like. But then there was no movement. It was just the noise. And then my daughter said she did see something walking along there. So I think it was a Bigfoot. And I think it was pushing the tree over because it knew I was there and wanted me to see him. But I didn't see him, so all that effort was wasted. But I did hear him, so that's what it was. In reality, it was probably a tree that was falling over, and we just didn't see the tree fall. But it was really cool. So we continued past Bigfoot and started going back towards the mini lodge. There was the big lodge where the gift shop was, and then there was a mini lodge. What we didn't know is that night and the next night they were doing Luminaries, and those were the only 2 nights they were doing them. We didn't know about it. So as we were coming, the dusk was falling, it was getting dark, and all of a sudden the path was lit with these torches of flames, and then they had these PVC pipes with candles in them, and somebody had gone and lit them all. So it was this lighted, candlelit path. And then we got back to the natural bridge, and they had those like LED bright colored Christmas lights shining on it. And so you had all these different colors on the bridge. It was really cool. And we got to the mini lodge where they had a giant fireplace with a fire, and they had free hot cocoa and cookies because I guess Santa was coming, and little crafts. So we all stopped, and a couple of the kids had some hot cocoa. And then we went back up and we got some souvenirs, and then we continued on to Georgia, where we really just kind of sat and reminisced and talked with the family members we didn't see. We did go see Spider-Man No Way Home, which if you haven't seen it, it was really good. That's all I'm going to say. It was really good. I would love to go see it again, but it's the first time we've been in a theater since the end of 2019. It was a very empty theater, which is part of the reason why we went. There was our family, because you could see the seating on it. And it was a non-sold out show. So we weren't even seated next to anybody. There's nobody behind us, nobody in front of us. And the people that were next to us were like 3 seats away. So we felt okay by that. I'm trying to think. And then we came home. We came home a different direction than when we went down. And we stopped at a science museum in Greensboro, North Carolina. It had an aquarium, a little mini zoo, and a museum. It was okay. It wasn't, sorry, my dog's making noise. He's trying to get my attention. It wasn't amazing. We've been to better science museums. We've definitely been to better aquariums, but this wasn't, I mean, it was like a mini zoo and a mini aquarium. It wasn't meant to be amazing. It was fun though. It was worth the money. It killed a couple hours, and then we came home and had Christmas, and it was a great Christmas. My kids were happy, and we've just kind of been chilling. So that's where we're at. That's what we've done. And so now I'm going to end my video because there's a lot of editing to do on this video to get it ready to be posted so you guys can see it and know that I haven't forgotten about you. If you stuck around to the end, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for making this a great year, for commenting on my videos, for sticking around. I have made a mess for myself in here that I'm going to have to clean up. So I'm going to end my video now. I'm going to say thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope if you've had a happy holiday season, whatever it is that you celebrate, I hope you have a happy, happy new year. I hope you find a way to celebrate and enjoy. And I will see you guys again in January. Bye.
There's got to be a logical way to explain this Christmas thing. Interesting reaction. But what does it mean? You're right. Something is missing. But what? I've got the beard,